Ryan, congratulations. How good does it feel to get this sorted?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, it's been, we've been talking about it for a couple of weeks now, do you know what I mean, sort of behind the scenes and getting it sorted, but, it's nice to finally get it done and, it's been good for me. It's something I can look forward to now.
Has it been playing on your mind at all? Because it doesn't look like it if you've been talking about it for weeks.
No, not really. I mean, it is what it is, I mean, the conversations that I had are not really included with me anyway, You have people that's what their job is, to take care of that sort of situation for you. So that's all been done. And as I said, I just got told the final outcome, and then it's just nice that we can finally agree and sort of put pen to paper and move forward with it.
I get the feeling that it's not going to change who you are and how you act and play around the club.
No, I don't think you can. I mean, it is what it is, The contract is there now, but you can't change as a person and how you do things, because ultimately that's got you where you are, And as I said, if I did change around here, there'd be a lot of people telling me, and you wouldn't be getting away with it.
Is that the good thing about this squad, though, in this place?
Definitely. I mean, you look at the players that are in the squad. Nothing to do with me. You look at the players that are in the squad and the calibre of the player in the squad and how young they are and the futures they've got. I mean, they'll be the ones that are entitled to come in maybe with a little bit. But for me, it's definitely not going to happen. And as I said, if it did, the boys in there would make it known very, very quickly.
Because how do you see your role within the squad and at the club now? Because, I mean, this contract's going to take you to what, when you're 31 or so?
I don't think much will change, from now. But as I said, you look at it like that, you are one of the most senior ones in the changing room. But as I said earlier, the squad that we do have, there's a lot of leaders in there. Obviously you've got Codes, John. I think the dynamics will still stay the same. We're all involved in conversations. We all stick together, and I don't see that changing.
Are you more prominent though this year? I mean, because you're one of the few who has experience of being at this level and the pressures that come with it. So now that you, I guess, in your second season at the club, you're a bit more settled. Are you one of that senior pro?
Yeah, I'd say yeah and no. As I've said before as well, the players that are in this squad do have a lot of high level experience, whether that be where they've come from in the Champions League, Europa League and stuff. And at first I was maybe one of the only ones to have played in the Prem before, but I would say it's not in my character, it's not out of my character, but I'm one of them. I kind of get on with what I'm doing, And if people talk to me, people talk to me, but I always let it be known of how tough it was going to be this year. There's a lot of people talking outside, not inside, but outside of the club. With all these ambitions and all these things that are going on, and we still need to have the realisation of how hard this league actually is. And I think being there, obviously along with John, he'd be having similar conversations of how tough it can be and how tough times can be at this level. And I mean, we've just gone through one, we've come out of it, but. That's a sort of important thing, maybe having people in them sort of positions who have been there before and been through the scenarios of tough times and the good times, to keep it all level and normal and moving forward with that. Because
you've had, even in the 18 months or so you've been here, it's not been the easiest or smoothest of rides. Obviously you came in at a stage of the summer when everything got suddenly changed. You've had to fight for your place, and I mean even now you are continually fighting to prove yourself, I guess.
Definitely. I mean, sort of the situation I come in under I wouldn't say it was ideal. It wasn't bad, but it was obviously a new manager, a lot of new faces coming in, and it took me a while, to get a game, and that's just the way it was and the way it is. And but as I said, you get them chances, and you have to try and make them work. And unfortunately for me, I've done that last year, and even moving forward to sort of the start of this season. It's well documented. People have spoke about it before. Looking at it at the start of the season, I probably wasn't going to be in the starting team, and that's the way it is. That's the truth of it. But you get your chances, as I said, and unfortunately for me, it's worked well, and we've carried on putting the work we put in progress last year and continued that. And as I said, we've moved forward as a team and as together and individually as well. And this is just a reward for part of that.
Because you're probably not aware of this, because you're not as sad as me. You don't go through the stats as much as I do. But I think it's something like only 6 defeats in about 40 odd appearances.
Yeah, obviously I know it's not many. I mean, my brother's probably more aware of that than me. But it's something that I don't pay any attention to, really. I mean, I focus on each game as it is, and like you said earlier, you know, there's people breathing down your neck every single day at this club, and you've seen that. You know, I've come out of the team this season already. It's not going to be plain sailing even from now, but that's what you want. And you know, the players that we do have here are unbelievably gifted. You know, and there's people pushing people for places all the time, but that's why it keeps you on your toes, and you have to keep working hard every single day to keep that going.
Because when you got into the team, it was kind of just as the team got to the top of the table, and you didn't relinquish that position all the way through. It's been upwards all the time.
Yeah, and that's sort of been the nice part of it. You know, I come into a team that was doing well, and sometimes that makes it easy, sometimes it makes it hard. But fortunately for me, you know, the way, as I said, the way we train is everyone's in it together. There's a way we play, and when you come in, you fit into that. So that makes it a lot easier. You're not coming in trying to implement your own game on a team that's doing something else. You know, we're all on the same hymn sheet, we're all doing the same thing. But for me, sort of obviously coming in, it was Norwich away was my first game, which probably added a little bit more to the game. You know, to be honest with you, being obviously my old club and my first game, I was, you know, desperate not to lose. And we stayed over there obviously the night before. We stayed over that night as well, and you know, in my head I couldn't. It was hard for me to contemplate how it would have been if we did lose. You know, the people that I know there and the circumstances when I left, and you know, it was important for me that we went and won that game, and we did that. And I think that gave me a little bit of also more confidence, you know. And you sort of stayed in the team, sort of there on after, really, barring a couple of times, and that's probably something that I've not had over the past, you know, 4 or 5 seasons really. And this has been the first sort of period of spell where I've come in and played a lot of games, you know, and I'd include that this season as well. I mean, when I was in this league before, different scenarios, different things, I didn't play as much as I wanted to, you know, and I think this year has been good for me, getting that run of games and sort of keeping it going.
In a way, has this been more enjoyable for you than when you went through it all before with Norwich?
Definitely. I mean, I've said it before. I done something that people ask me about my other clubs that I've previously played at, and for me, you won't recreate what's happened here. I don't think you can. I mean, there's things that happen in football, good things, bad things, and you take it all. But for me, the way it went last year, obviously bringing a new manager and the new squad, the whole sort of like atmosphere around the club and the people looking from the outside, there was this big there was a big pressure there, you know, like everyone's saying, oh, you know, Wolves, they're going to win the league, they're going to do this, and that comes with its own sort of pressure, you know. And we come in every day, people talking about all this, talking about all that, and we had to come in. We worked so hard every single day to make that happen. And when we did make it happen, it was unbelievable, you know. And as I said in a previous interview, it's something that I don't think you can recreate with just how it went throughout the whole season and the players that were involved in what we did.